Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus, and I am here again. Listen, as spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, I want you to know I come from that angle because that is the vision that my relationship with the higher power, the one that I call God, and I have. It is honoring that every human being on the face of the earth, by just the virtue of being a human being on the face of the earth with a purpose of being here, from the one that put you here, guarantees that each and every last one of these human beings got these rights, basic human rights for all people. And they include, but not limited to, food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, transportation, and anything that their minds can imagine that they decide that they want to yield to. And everybody plays a part in the process, whereby each one has been given a gift, something that is innate within them that they desire to do, that having the opportunity to do, give them their greatest pleasure in doing, whereby creating enough goods and services that the reservoir will overflow and no one here in the country or the world will be lacking anything. That is a gift from the Father that gives you purpose for being here, gives you your greatest pleasure. And in so doing, you have peace, prosperity, freedom, joy of life, and the fulfillment of your dreams, your needs, your wants, and your desires met without lying, without cheating, without stealing, without killing, without terror, without war, without any of these things. This is the message that I come to bring to you about the power that I am associated with, that proved to me that the power of that which I cannot see but is made evident by all that I can see is greater than the power than any of us as human beings can cause. The greatest power that we can cause, the greatest catastrophe that we can cause is hell being created right here in our midst. The greatest joy that we can do is its reverse. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I ask myself, why would we want to live in a world, excuse me, where anyone can just assault people, slaughter them, and kill them? I mean, what's going on in Russia, in Russia's relationship with Ukraine, and its assault on life, its assault against God, is the highest order that a human being can take as far as allowing themselves to be an agent of evil, which some might call the devil or Satan. But this is what's going on. They kill babies, they kill old folks, they kill women. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean a thing to them. They're seeking power, and they want anybody that would stand up against that power to go to wherever they go. They got to get out of the way. So it seems to me that in a situation like this, where you would have a power that's doing that, it appears that the whole world should then stand against that power to deter that power from getting any progression. Stop it in its track, allow it to go no place but back to hell where it come from. That way the world can see that we, the people of the world, are protecting each other. We got each other's back. And so won't anyone come sliding up on us like that. But in order for that to happen, we have to have something that draws us together, that makes us be committed together, not just a bomb that makes us feel that we're safe because no one is going to push a button. Some fool might push a button. So what I'm saying is it's better to be drawn together with a common cause. And what is that common cause? The things I just mentioned: peace, prosperity, freedom, joy of life, and the fulfillment of your dreams. And if you can't do that, then why would you want to live in a world where somebody just go kill? Well, now you know they're doing that to somebody anywhere, then they'll do it to people everywhere. And that might include you. So when you see any person anywhere on the face of the earth being killed because of nothing, because of innocence, that could be you. And so the whole entire world could stand up against it. And I know the fear of the bomb is one thing, but I say to the people who are being attacked, do not run. Stand up for your right. For some strange reason, the God of creation has allowed you to be born or immigrate to that place where you are. Stand up and protect that place. It means something to you. Don't run away from it. Stand up and fight its enemy. And if you must die, then what else would you die for? Old cancer? Rheumatism, arthritis, Alzheimer's? Is that worth dying for? At least if you die for what you really mean something, maybe your kids will survive some of them, and then they'll have something worthwhile. And if you do stand, you would make the rest of the world who would not come to your rescue look like a fool, look like they were one of the greatest agents. It would make it seem like Russia was putting the bullets on you. That was one part of the evil. And evil, on the other hand, was watching the rest of the world stand back with their hands tied and wouldn't do nothing about it. So nobody could brag about who was bad, because the evidence that they all were bad is in your destruction. You know, we have something here relative. You know, there was something that happened that gives us moments in time to reflect, to think about things, and perhaps see if change is required. You know, there was a lot of killing of black people, especially black men, unarmed, and some even armed, by cops. They just killed black folks. Never stopped. But something happened when they killed George Floyd. All of a sudden, he got the attention of the world. It was just the same old act that happened all the time. It was a different little method, but death, nevertheless. And the whole world was awakened. And they wanted to do something about it. They made some promises, but the system that they are operating in, that was designed to cause the things that happens, wasn't about to give up control and really make any major changes. So things basically are like they always were. People have continuously been killed. I admit it's been known that because of the cameras, a few more cops have been having to pay the cost for trying to be the boss. But it is because of that that we see what was going on. We know some changes might be made. And I can equate that with Ukraine. Ukraine striving to be a democratic nation, trying to be a part of NATO or the free world, the world that says we come together and be one. Struggling there to be that. And that which it is trying to become is sitting back watching it. I mean, what kind of promise does it say to the Ukrainians to say, I'm watching what these guys that I'm expecting to be a part of to protect me sit and do nothing? It's like getting ready to join an organization that you think is of the highest order. And you know that you waited a long time to become a part of it because you weren't of the highest order. You were no good. And so you try to time it so you can start getting rid of your no goodness, so you can become that part of the organization. Only at the time that you became a part of got rid of your no goodness and was ready to become a part of this organization that you thought was so fine and so fantastic, find out that one of the worst persons that were just like you, didn't think about giving up anything, was going into the same organization that you're going into at the same time that you're going. What does that say? You thought you had pure, what did you clean up yourself for? So you find out that what you thought it was is not exactly what it is. And so if the people cannot come to the Ukrainians' rescue in the form that they need them to come, then they find out that maybe they should just listen to one power. And what power is that? The same power that you as an individual should listen to. Not the power of the organization. I mean, you know, they got its credibility as long as it is on the righteous path. But once they get off the righteous path, then they can stand out there by itself, or you stand by yourself. That goes to any organization. That goes to the church. That goes to government. That goes to anything that directs anyone off of the path of righteousness. That path which works for you, works for everybody else, and works against no one, causes no pain and suffering to anyone. So, who would want to be a part of a world where all kinds of things can happen? Now, one thing I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, as I close, because I think you got my point, that we have to stand up for what's right. And what goes on in government is not what's right. I mean, there's some are better than others, but they're all no good when it comes down to serving the purpose of all people. But I just wanted to share with you that the way evil is using Russia, that affect Ukraine the same way as I mentioned. That is the same way. Now, I want you who are listening to me, I want you to really focus. I want you to really focus. Focus on what you hear. I'm not talking about what Russia, the propaganda that Russia is telling its folks, that evil. I'm not talking about the propaganda that Russia is telling its folks that is extending itself over here to the people in America that's Putin's folks now. I'm asking you to listen to the people who care about your interests, the people who care about your sovereignty. And you check this out. What Putin and Russia is doing in Ukraine, calling all that viciousness. You see it on the TV, you see it on social media, you see it on the news. Now I want you to think for 1 second. That is identically the same things that Donald J. Trump, number 45 President of the United States, along with his minions in the United States Congress, specifically the United States Senate, and those that were installed in the federal courts, in the Supreme Court, was all set up, designed for one thing, for Trump and these guys. As you heard, Stephen Miller used to tell us all the time, you haven't seen nothing yet. And all the brothers that went to Russia to be indoctrinated with the plan on that anniversary, 4th of July, come back and work together. And since things didn't work out right, the proper way, the people were rejecting this monster, impeached him twice. But the hierarchy, the in crowd that's going to destroy this country, kept him in power. And now allowing him to still run all over the country, spreading all kinds of divisions, spreading all kinds of, put it this way, spreading all kinds of evil. All kinds of evil. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, there's some goodness, there's some righteousness that overcomes all that evil. And that is this. They have nothing to offer. This evil has nothing to offer righteousness. They're willing to slaughter righteousness. But righteousness has everything to offer evil. It has righteousness to offer evil. What does that mean? That means that the same benefits of life that we have according to righteousness are the same ones that are afforded to the enemies of righteousness. So, but my point is exactly what's going on from Russia to Ukraine is the same thing that the Republican Party and Donald Trump and those guys are trying to institute here within the United States of America. And for those of you who are going to be voters, what they're trying to do is to stack everything up during this midterm election 22, trying to stack it up with some more evil machines in government so they can implement. So you can start, when you try to stand up, see them whooping your heads. Who? The people, your cousins and nephews over in this state. You know you scattered all about every state. They're going to be whooping your heads. Now, you know that's not going to happen, right? You know that's impossible. You're not going to let that happen. All I'm trying to warn you, to alert you, that that is what is on the making. So don't let it come on your doorstep before you wake up. Wake up now. It's happening all around us. And you really won't see it. You really won't be able to think about what to truly do about it unless you care. If you don't care, there's no way you're going to find a way out of this. But for some strange blessing, others have cared, and the way has already been laid before us. So we can take the path, and at the same time, we can clear our conscience by connecting not with anyone's perspective, unless that perspective lines up with the same perspective that one has given you. And if it hasn't given you the exact perspective, it has given you path that walks accordingly. So I want to leave it there. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Eddie Marcus, again, saying, See you later.